All right, the moment you guys have all been waiting for is for me to compare LVS 34, which is LiveScope Plus, to LiveScope XR, which I have done before. So I have XR in the boat, LVS 62, and I also have LVS 44, which is new LiveScope 2. So I have all three turned on the boat right now. Unfortunately, the Garmin screen won't let me run all three on the same screen to like kind of show you what all three look like. Right now we're in 110 feet of water, vertical jigging for lake trout, with basically a little tiny diamond jig or a spoon, available at benditfish.com. And so we are going to be recording at 1150, and we're going to show you what this jig looks like on Plus, on XR, Plus, and then LVS 44, and then XR. So right now I should be recording this screen, which I'm going to show you what this looks like on Plus. So this is LiveScope Plus, and I'm going to turn this one off. Transmit. So there is a laker down there, and you literally cannot see him right now. And you also can't see my jig at all. And we're in down mode. I have a fish on. I was wondering why it wasn't dropping anymore. That would be the reason why. So you can see that fish come up on Plus. And then let me switch back over to here, turn this back on. And switch over to here. So that flashing noise you're seeing is a combination of interference between all three units. Literally caught this fish by accident, and I was trying to show you what the jig looked like compared to him. It's not a very big laker, but it's a laker nonetheless at 120 feet. And this is your average size laker in here, a little bit bigger than that maybe. So there's the first fish, kind of by accident. And I'm not seeing any more down there right now, but we're going to drop down anyways. It doesn't matter what time of year, what time of day I film in this lake, the wind's always at my face, the sun's always at my back. So there's my jig going down on LVS 44, and I'm running the settings fairly the same, and that interference you're seeing is from LiveScope XR, which so I'm dropping down again. That little tiny speck you're seeing right now is my jig, like little tiny. And so when I guide out here, it's really hard to see that for clients. And so I normally use XR at this depth, anything over like 70 feet. So let me show you what XR looks like. Let me turn both of these off actually. LiveScope XR, which is over here on a separate pole. And right now I have a fishing specialties pole, I have a Summit fishing pole, and then I have a Transom Buddy Canada pole in the back here. So you can see how easy it is to see my jig. And then we have a fish actually up high here. Not sure where he went to. Drop back down. So with XR, everything looks just a little bit bigger. Oh, there he is. He's not very big. So XR looks a little bit bigger. And let me go over some specs real quick. And I'll go over price. So Plus used to cost $1,700. XR is at $3,000 with a black box, and then now this LVS 44 is now $2,000 without a black box, which is really nice for wiring, really nice for ice fishing, all that jazz. So we can really see my jig down there. We can really see this fish right here on XR. I don't know if that fish will come over to me or not, but there's another fish on bottom. And we're gonna punch out to 150 feet here in a minute and show you what that really looks like. I wanted to show you guys down mode because that's the one I'm most concerned about when I'm guiding. And what's really cool so far about LiveScope, I'm just gonna call it LVS 44, is it seems, so it's got a 180 degree realm, so I can see salmon. This lake has salmon and rainbows and bass and Lakers in it. Salmon and rainbows tend to cruise right underneath the surface, especially earlier in the year. Right now, not so much. But they're down at the thermocline, and I have a hard time seeing that in forward mode in that because there's those blind spots. So that's a plus. Did I just miss another freaking fish? And even if I turn my gain up, you can barely see my jig here, and we're level to the bottom of the lake. And so a couple other quick specs. So the issue with LVS 34 and the issue with LiveScope XR are kind of the same thing. So XR is the 62. Is frequency range. So you need a low frequency to get into deep water and a high frequency to see detail in shallow water. So right now, Plus is running, LiveScope Plus, LVS 34 is running 550 to 110 kilohertz. So that's why the detail's there and it maxes out at that 120 because it's not pinging really hard return off bottom. LiveScope 2, which is what you guys are seeing right now, and there's a laker right next to me. I can see him, but I can't see my jig, which is an issue. Oh, I can barely see it. Is running 600 to 1050 kilohertz. And then LiveScope XR is running 265 to 550. That's why that one's more like your standard 200 chirp sonar, which is why it can go down to 200, 300 feet. I've seen lakers up to 315 feet away with that thing, which makes it an incredible device for what I do, which is jigging for lakers. And so that laker is 40 feet away. I can barely see my jig down there. I mean, so far I was really hoping it was gonna be like halfway between XR and Plus. Like frequency, it kind of is, but it's not there yet, really. I do want to go up shallow with it and try that. But I can't see my jig. Ooh, there's a fish right below me. And I am right below the sonar here, and I am struggling. I can see the fish. Layout, appearance, color gain, color default, trails, bottom blue, installation orientation, down mode. Don't know if that matters or not. I'm running pretty much the same settings. The gain is a little bit cooler. But I can see there's a fish at 80 feet away. There's technically behind me. Let's go find a school of lake trout and drop on them here. So I can tell you the stitching seems a lot better, but I have to have this thing turned up way freaking high here to really see what I'm doing. I mean, I could probably see my jig better with LiveScope Plus at this depth. Let's look. No, not really. I can't see it with Plus. I can barely see it with 44. I can definitely see it with XR. I know that because we've been fishing here all morning. Oh, there it is. I caught a glimpse of it. It is tiny and not helpful. I'm getting chased. There's no way I can use this with clients at 100 and even 100. We're only in 110 right now. This thing is not. I'm running a pretty small jig, pretty small cross section. I could switch to something bigger, but that's not what the scenario needs to be. Disappointed. Disappointed. All right, let's try up shallow. Maybe I'll be impressed with the shallow. I doubt it though. I really do. I'd like to get my $2,000 back at this moment. Like I tried this yesterday. I tried it shallow. I could not get it dialed in. And the way that I learned to use like LiveScope and Sonar was like ice fishing, so everything was easy. Everything's not moving, not bumpy like it is today. And it's, you know, it's down imaging. You're not trying to like scout out to something, you know? Do you do that? So we're pretty shallow. Ghost tree is atrocious. Looks like there's a lot more beams. And the other thing that I was like really hoping for LiveScope 2 to do is, one, to get rid of the black box. I jammed it all into the Sonar head unit, and you guys can see pictures of it all online. Now it's water cooled, so they can really push the limits of how powerful they can make this thing, and they don't have to worry about it just overheating like the black box does, as my black boxes are tucked away. They can actually crank this thing up. I'm hoping some software updates will fix some of this, like everybody else is kind of hoping. I'm guessing I just had like 2 rainbows or salmon that were underneath me acting all crazy like that. Let's try to do some tracking here. There's a fish over there at 60. A whole lot of unlikely. Oh, I can see my jig. And I see a laker on it. Come here. Yeah, whatever it is. That feels like a rainbow, actually. Problem with rainbows is they really don't do well with high temperatures, so. No, it's a laker. It's burping. It's a little laker. So that's the size of the laker that we just targeted. Back in he goes. I don't know, I have mixed emotions. There's another one right there. Oh, 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 oh. So I got a fish on XR, and let's switch over to whatever you want to call it. LiveScope XR, we'll shut that off. Oop, he's following me down. Oh, 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 come here. I mean, that's such a little dot here, like. Yeah, it's kind of sad. I mean, and we are right on bottom here. And there's a whole string of fish out in front of us at 100 and something. Let's go chase them down. Actually, they're behind us. So look how good XR looks like. I mean, it's, comparison-wise, there's no comparison. I mean, it's running a completely different kilohertz range. It's running almost down to chirp, basically. Chirp is 200 or less. I think there is some higher frequencies, 455 and stuff like that. But it's basically the same thing as 2D, so it's super powerful. The only downside of things I don't like with XR is it does not fit through an 8-inch ice hole. You have to drill either 2 holes or use a 10-inch auger. That was stop recording 12:26. Let's putt around with XR and look for some more fish because I can't seem to find them with that. And while we're looking, we'll just talk about it a little bit. You know, it's taken Garmin 6 years to come out with a new version of this, which is kind of sad. Most technology revamps every 2 years or a 3-year life cycle. So they've been trying, and obviously they don't want to flop, which who knows if this is at this point. Oh, I see one. And I can see my jig going down. Now, what I've always wanted Garmin to do is come out with like a jigging mode, like make two center beams really powerful, and so you can just like flip a switch, like make 2 beams that style, and that way you can just have a really powerful down mode for people that jig. But that's just my specific ask. So we're gonna rock that down there now. It's 3-inch swim bait with a 3/8 ounce. And I just want to keep you guys in mind, I am not sponsored by Garmin at all. I wish I was, because I like their products. For the most part, they have their quirks. I've had to return 2 LVS 34s at this point that have broken or whatever. So, you know, they do have defects just like any other product out there. But I had high expectations for this. They're being let down. Yeah, you can't use this thing down this deep. Unless there's some other mode that I don't know about. Like, this is just not working. Barely see it. So, I'm going to show you guys this right here. All of this right here is the sonar having issue with the thermocline. So that right there is warm water, everything else is clear, cold water. And it's having an issue with that. So, normally it's reversed. I wonder if Plus is having an issue. I really haven't used Plus today. Not really. But there's a lake or a salmon up high on Plus. I don't know, maybe it's good in under 80 feet or something, I don't know. But the 3/8 ounce jig, which has a wider profile and everything, does not seem to be any better. All right, we got a couple coming in from and these are 15-inch fish. And so if I can't see my jig, we're gonna have an issue here. Credit card and key, come on. All right, You can't see this freaking jig. You just can't. Like, bottom looks great, not really. We're gonna go run to another spot which has some structure on it, and it's really rocky, and I'm gonna hopefully see what that looks like. Oh, there's a fish chasing me. Stop recording, 12:52, just to sum this up. I mean, that thing is useless at 110. I mean, I can't see the jig majority of the way down, which does not work for what I do, which I'm very sad about. $2,000 out of the pocket sad. But we're gonna go try it in 80 feet where I can see bottom or see what the structure I'm on, and there's Lakers, so we'll see what happens over there. It's not looking great already. Come on, auto thing's not working. Maybe I should try it, and I'll try down mode for a second, and then I'll try forward mode. I don't know what to do, really. So for those of you that are already like LiveScope users and stuff, I'm gonna show you the settings real quick. Everything is off. And the reason for that is if you turn everything on, even with a GPS map unit, this is the 1243, there's a slight delay. So I'll pretend my jig's here and my screen's here. I'll jig the pole and then the jig will move. I'll jig the pole and then the jig will move. I can't have any delay when I'm doing the type of fishing that we're doing. So I turn all that stuff off. It's the only way to get the fastest feedback from the screen. Let's try forward mode for giggles. Credit card and keys. Let's drop down and wait for some fish here. This wavy ass day here. I mean, 70 feet's not bad. Here comes one. I don't think he's gonna eat. Come on. Oh, the lightest little love tap in the world. A couple of his buddies are down there. That ghost tree is atrocious. Like, come on. Come on. We're gonna tap it on bottom here, see if that'll hook him up. I mean, I might as well be just using XR. Like, XR is more powerful. I'll show you what Plus looks like down there. Plus is pushing the limits of this too at this depth. The interference is going to be atrocious. Come on. They're a little gun shy. We were catching them here this morning. And these sonars are right next to each other, so if I separated them on either side, it'd be a little bit better. And also, since I've run two sonars a lot, like aiming them towards each other is not good, aiming away from each other is better. And then running different frequencies, so XR and Plus almost never, they'll interfere a little bit, but not a lot. So I'd say it's slightly better than Plus at this depth, like just viewing wise. But there's, yeah, not really. There's Plus. Got that one. Oh, and he's off. You little whippersnapper. So I'd say it's slightly better at the, let's say 80 and less, like for what I'm doing. But it's not worth all that ghost noise. I mean, that's, like in order to turn I have to turn the gain up so high to see the jig, that then I can't see anything else around. Might as well use just LiveScope Plus. All right, so maybe I gotta set expectations a little bit differently. I don't know. I thought this was gonna be like a great replacement for LiveScope Plus. It seems like it's a little bit better distance-wise. It's having a hard time finding my jig, even with the settings that I know work, because it's not using any crazy new technology that, you know, doesn't see a jig at certain settings. It just doesn't. Like I have all of the safety settings, as I call them, the pretty settings. So I have noise rejection, I have TVG, I have all that stuff turned off, and I'm just barely seeing it. LiveScope XR does a way better job. LiveScope Plus is doing the job better than this with no ghost tree. I mean, my opinion, it's a thumbs down for right now. Maybe with an update, I'll keep it for another month and see if some other updates roll out. I always update my units just to keep them in line, basically. I don't know. I wish I could tell you something better. But I'll save you guys the money from now. I would not buy it. And I think that's it. I'll hopefully do another review video when I get a chance to go try it with some bigger lakers and bigger baits. But a lot of the guys that are using this are using like 3-inch minnows, 3-inch swim baits, like 150 feet out for walleye. I mean, it's really great at tracking fish. Come on. Like that one came off bottom and ate it, but I could do that with Plus, I could do that with XR. Like there's really, I don't see the advantage right now. Stitching's a little bit better, so I have issues with stitching with both of them. Like I have clients that their jig swings into the stitching line, and that's an issue. I mean, maybe that's the advantage of this, but I'm not, I have a guide trip tomorrow, there's no way I'm using it. He's all bloody, I'm not gonna show him. Ooh, I cut my pliers again. All right, if you guys aren't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe, because I probably will be doing another video out in a month when they do release an update. Hopefully that'll fix a lot of the issues that we're seeing here. I don't know. I wish I could tell you better news. Save you money, don't buy it right now. Or spend 500 bucks more and get XR. And I was fishing with 30 feet all the way down to 160 feet with it, so that covers everything.